Hello, good morning. My name is Jason, and I am accompanied by a series of power tools outside my window this morning. The channel is It's Probably Okay, and we're here to play a game. I am going to mute myself and go in the order of, everyone remember so I don't have to turn my mic back on. Joey, Pooja, Sam, and then Jay.
All right.
On the clock. Okay,
it.
there we go. Joey.
Hey everybody, I'm Joey. I am playing Ryan Rosenthal, your friendly neighborhood fae, who might have assumed the form of his patron Kernunos and had a super fun antler time, and probably won't have any repercussions about that at all whatsoever. So yeah, that's all I got. Next.
Hi, I'm Pooja, and I'm playing Asmitha from the Tainted Playbook. And, fun times. We looted a vault. I now have the appropriate vellum to go with my finger of the scribe, which, if for those of you who haven't been around since the very beginning, I got the perfect pen, so now I needed the perfect paper to write with the perfect pen on, because that's basically art imitating life.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam, your friendly neighborhood regular human person, and I am here to play Sarah Hartunian from the Wizard Playbook. She is a no-nonsense bartender who has acquired a zombie army on her first day on the job.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
That's like the most Sam thing ever. Yep, tracks. Zombie army. We're getting it right to it, right there, right now.
Hello, I'm here. Oops, zombie army.
Exactly. Hey everyone, Jay here playing Belle, our friendly neighborhood imp playbook, a demon with a shop that I haven't been to in a bit, so hopefully it's still standing. And yeah. We had some adventures. It looks like everything's coming up good for us so far, I think.
Yeah, we just have to meet up with to turn over the amulet.
Yeah.
And we'll be, free of the contract.
Exactly. The
All
contract
right.
that we got into.
The noise here is somewhat intermittent now, and apparently it doesn't come through as bad as I thought. But if you all hear it coming through real bad, please wave or whatever so we don't blow out the listeners' headphones or whatever. That's true. Sam, we invited you here on purpose, and we knew what we were doing. So, oh shoot! Now the Nightbot's showing the wrong pronouns thing. Oh,
Nope, different Sam, Nightbot.
yeah.
Nightbot was like, Sam,
I know them.
I have a
Yeah.
thing for this.
Wrong one.
I needed to set one up for us today, and I got distracted doing other stuff, so I'll have to set that up later. Okay. However, we do have all of our channel points set up now, so there are a number of things you can do there to just have some fun with your channel points, which I'm sure everyone has dozens and dozens of. Let's see. So the recap was effective.
Does the lose the glasses turn you into Thelma from Scooby-Doo?
Well, kind of. It's probably more fun when I'm playing a video game, but I thought it would be amusing because for me, taking glasses off it's sort of like if you're watching the old movie in science class and the thing is just a little bit out of focus. Like I can see everything, but I can't read anything, and I can kind of see what's going on. Not okay to drive.
But on Wednesdays, it's like the Insta, I would like another game, please.
Yeah. Yep. That should be fun. Okay,
As you
so...
don't know, what Jason does on Wednesdays, we wear death, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. Oh, hydrate. Yep, good. Thank you. Yep, we like all the self-care things on there. And remember,
there's water
hydrate
in
as
tea,
you
right?
will. Coffee and tequila have water in them. Both of
Yes.
those things are true.
Those are actual facts. Yes.
They are.
So
Hello?
there's ghosts in my blood.
Oh
Do
no.
cocaine about it.
Yeah.
You get used to it.
How about now? Okay, well, you all will tell me if it's real loud coming through, right? Because sometimes
Yeah.
the mic will clip it out, so that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was a fourth and final version of the quick start guide rules that I can't remember if I shared with you all. There's some relatively minor changes, except for a couple of your playbooks. And ultimately, we'll go get you the new playbook just so there's, every little like typo and stuff is fixed. But in the update, we have so first of all, study of place of power. That circle move is completely revised. So when you want to do that, I'll just read it off for you. I can't remember if I put this new version of the rules in our shared folder. So
Don't think I didn't see
Okay.
it.
Yeah. I don't recall knowing that it was a thing.
yeah, okay. So don't worry about that. Then I'll just read off the little things that are different. They updated how the text on NPCs and harm and stuff like that, but it's okay. So Joey, oh geez, I didn't change your name tag. I got partway through changing name tags and then didn't finish what I was doing.
Rude.
You are Rian the Fae.
That's me.
This is so embarrassing.
All Faye all day.
This normally very professional production, and I have dropped the ball. Oh yeah, and Sam is not currently playing Sundew.
Not currently. I am, however, still a carnivorous plant. It's okay.
Yeah.
In the game, though, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I meant in the game.
Okay.
We said Sarah's CERA, what, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The wizard. Okay. Now I recenter the name. Okay. Great.
Oh no, what have you? Oh god.
Well, yeah, oh god, screw this. There isn't that much difference between the Fae and the Outsider. It's true.
Well, the way I played the outsider.
Yeah, especially when your Outsider is literally from the Fae.
Yeah.
Joey has a type.
Yeah. It's fine. I've embraced it. You can embrace it too for a cost.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh, the imp. Your business as usual and your schemes were updated.
Oh.
So let's scroll down and look at that real quick.
Ooh. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, first the Fae. So Joey, the court has
Yes.
wait, these look really similar. Okay, well, I don't see the difference here. All right, we'll come back to that. Plus, you have your court stuff all picked. Like it's more like they expanded some of the options you could pick.
Okay.
Okay, so Jay, business as usual. When time passes or at the start of the game, and we are going to need this today,
Okay.
you'll roll with mind on a hit. Your usual operations provide opportunity. Generate a new scheme, your choice. On a 10 plus, you also pick one, and then there's 3 things there. And on a miss, a family member or close friend drags you into a scheme you'd rather have avoided. Generate a new scheme with 4 complications, and the MC will tell you what terrible fate could befall your ally should you fail to deliver.
Awesome.
So that's fun. And let's see. Change log. We also, okay, the Wizards, Det, Ward, and On a Pale Horse were revised, as well as the memory wipe, which I don't think you took. So I think that's the last thing we really have to look at. So let's see, Det, Ward, Pale Horse. Okay, Wizard, your ward. Okay, so Sam, on your character sheet, do you have the why do they need protection?
Yes.
Okay, what did you pick for that?
The child of an influential enemy.
Okay, I think now that's oh no, there it is. Yeah, the secret child of influential, powerful enemy. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
And the why did you agree to this arrangement?
Redeem yourself for a past failure.
Aha. Yeah, that's right. You were sort of like pressured into it, right?
Yeah, their parent is the mayor.
Yeah.
And I embarrassed the mayor.
Yeah.
At the bar.
Yep. Awesome. So now you're responsible for her definitely not bratty wizard daughter.
Yes.
Please give me Wizard Paris Hilton. That's all I want.
Whose contract I now have in my possession.
Ooh.
Yep.
As of last episode.
Yep. I think less Paris Hilton, more like what's her name from 10 Things I Hate About You?
Oh, Bianca?
The
younger daughter.
No, I was thinking the older daughter.
Kat.
Yeah, like
okay.
a little rebellious, but rebelling for the sake of rebelling, not because she really like understands the, 15 causes that she's picked up and like just wants to be in a club. Okay, so then they also changed your I think some of it was pretty minor, but they did get rid of memory wipe and change it to linking. And
okay,
linking,
I didn't choose that one.
What's that?
I haven't chosen that one anyway.
Okay,
so far.
great. Well, in case you wanted to pick linking is spend one hold to telepathically link up to 2 characters in your presence for a few hours, allowing them to communicate with each other and with you regardless of distance.
That's
you
fun.
may spend additional hold 1-for-1 to add more characters to the network, even if other members are not present. So
Mental group chat. Got it.
right. So if you wanted to drop one that you took and take that because it wasn't available when you picked, that's okay too.
It does seem useful.
It also kind of seems like something a bartender would pick up.
Mm-hmm.
So if only so you could talk shit to the bar back about the people at the bar.
Definitely.
Imagine.
I think I might. Oof. Can't believe these words are gonna come out of my mouth. I might drop Hex and take
Oh
that.
my.
What?
I
Okay.
know. Listen, I'll buy it back at some point. It's just, it's harder to use because you have to already have a sample of their hair, blood, or saliva.
Yeah.
Which some people don't want to give you for some reason.
Weird. Okay. So those are the big ticket items in the refresh. It wasn't like a major facelift on the game or anything. But a couple things that I wanted to make sure people had options for. They also changed some of the like circle moves and city moves, but we can go over that as it comes up. We are gonna do another city move. I've got a couple ways I've streamlined some of it, done some of it behind the scenes. It's not gonna take an hour and 45 minutes, unless you all make it. Oh, welcome Clara in the chat. Welcome.
Hey.
So the evening ended with heading out of the tower, right? I think we had closed out the tower scene, right?
Yep, I believe we had. I believe we had successfully completed all of our missions there.
Yep. And I think that puts it at what, like 10 p.m. ish, because all hell kind of broke loose around 8 at the bar. And as you're coming out, you can see a lot of the wreckage that Sombra and Nisumba left.
Yes.
Now their agreement, Asmita, was like cause some havoc, and then you would do what for them?
It was in return for wrecking the shop, I believe.
Yeah, and also fixing their head.
And
Okay.
And it was kind of like the whole like putting his head back on, causing the wreckage, the shop, and like, no hard feelings, leave alone in the future, all tied up into one kind of debt cycle with Jay.
Okay. So, you're not expecting anything else from them at this point, right? They
Not
have
at this point,
completed
no.
their contract.
They are off free to do whatever it is they came here to do.
However, I do still have a debt on
No.
them, so that'll be
Yeah.
fun to play later.
Noted.
They do owe both Ryan and Asmita debts.
Okay, but
Also-
not in the form of a specific task that you're waiting on them for. Okay.
No.
But also, they are not free to do whatever they want in this city, in this area specifically.
Was that stated?
Well, there was a lot of like back and forth about how this area is my patron's area. Fridra is not cool with them.
Sure.
And they came in and they like wrecked shit like right in her backyard. Like it's just like that's just okay.
Now, out of the 5 islands in Santa Sombra, is it just your island that's off limits or has restrictions on it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if
Okay.
they want to go elsewhere and do other things,
Right. Or go to the mainland.
whatever.
Okay.
I'm not the boss of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Noted. Yeah, I think there's a little blurb in the newspaper in the morning that I don't know if any of you read the newspaper in Santa Sombra, but there's a little blurb about how a police speedboat was stolen in the middle of the night.
Well, they should have locked it up.
By apparently gorillas, like, is their best guess by the way things were broken and generally accessed.
Planet of the Apes.
Wait, but we got our infinity band back though. That's the one thing that we need to get back from.
Yeah, that was promised. Yes.
That was
I think you just found it in the like wreckage in the lobby.
Perfect.
It was
Great.
like hanging on the coat rack. It's like priceless, incredible, one of a kind artifact that I don't think they're one of a kind, but it's rare.
Yeah.
Right.
Rare.
So yeah, you get your infinity band on the way out. And the yeah, I just picture the the 4 of you walking out of the hotel. It doesn't explode behind you, but I'm just picturing like flames on the roof. The door, like you guys come out of the front door and one of them just like wobbles and like clunks off, and we just don't even look behind us. It's just come out and get in someone's limo and tell them to leave.
I feel like on the way out, there's definitely like a older couple on the side. Like, I mean, I just expected better service, and it's not even clean. I am leaving a 1-star review.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Excellent. I love it. It is also worth noting that the Constellation Hotel is not the wizard's center of power, right? Mrs. Lane is an incredibly powerful wizard in the wizard faction, but she is not the head of the wizards, and this is not their main base, right? A lot of them use this space as a convenient location, but just for context, that you have not laid siege to the like actual core of wizard interests. So
Good to know.
what you've done is complicated, but you have not declared war on an entire faction.
Oh, good.
So
That's great.
Very
glad about that.
Are probably going to be pretty annoyed with you.
What else is new?
Annoyed with who?
You. You all made a very public spectacle.
I mean, everything that we did was confined to the hotel.
Yes.
Yes. And like, really, what was our fault exactly here?
Question?
I mean,
I guess we'll find out.
I mean, we freed people from oppressive and exploitative employment.
yep.
Taught valuable lessons to a number of wizards
Yeah.
that I think were necessary for them to like continue their existence.
And grow as people.
Yeah.
And if anything, by taking Miss Lane down a peg, I'm sorry, Mrs. Lane down a peg, we really just secured the power base for the Wizard Council. She wasn't
That's
on the
true.
Wizard Council.
Yeah.
Now all that power just go right back to the center of their government, which is
Yep.
just what I'm sure they want.
Yeah.
We did
Well-
them a favor, really.
And look, those two guys wrecking sure, okay, maybe we brought them, but
no, because the wizards are the reason that they're here.
yeah,
Therefore, that is just them reaping the benefits of their own actions.
exactly. Yeah, no, they conjured them, so that's on them.
Yeah.
And we just relieved them of some items, the provenance of which is unclear at best.
Those definitely belong in a museum.
Yeah, exactly. So
You
I
just
feel
write
like-
museum on a wall in your apartment.
Yep. I honestly feel as though no one did anything wrong here.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we didn't do anything wrong.
Yes.
Sure. Yep. Also, we discovered that Mrs. Lane, while not undead, is animated without several of her major organs that have been put in
Yep.
special jars.
Exactly. She's been digging into some,
Is this the technical definition of a lich?
Exactly. She's been digging into some real necromancy action that I bet you the wizards weren't even aware of.
Listen, let's not cast aspersions on necromancy.
Not casting aspersions per se.
I
but
think
I'm
she's
just-
more of a mummy than a lich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A sugar mummy.
Yes.
It feels.
You're welcome. Mic drop.
That was
I
very
mean,
good.
It feels. She kind of feels like a lich.
Yeah, that's what I
Mhm.
thought. With her heart missing and her
Yeah.
heart in a jar.
Yeah, the canopic jars really shout mummy though.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
And see, this is part of the issue. Is if you don't respect any of the traditions that you're coming from and you just throw them all together in this super like appropriative fashion,
Mm-hmm.
then what do you get? You get
Yeah.
You're gonna have a bad time.
yeah. You get like, oh, I decided to use skeleton creatures to clean my apartment, which
Yeah.
just seems like a waste.
I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a waste, but it's also just, unnecessary. Just showing off.
Okay. I like that.
So, yeah.
Also, you were able to get your friend Celeste out of the tower as well.
Yes.
She has fled for a bit, having sustained wounds, and is off to go recover. And, it's not some mystery, like she confirms with you all that she's going to go lay low for a while. And
Yeah.
that
I do like to believe she took that glass with her.
Oh,
What's that?
Definitely.
The glass of blood that she'd been drinking the entire fight.
Yes.
I think like at the very end, like before she leaves, she like drains the last of it and then just drops it on the floor. The way
Yeah.
That's better.
My
Insult
favorite
to
is like
injury.
reaching over next to the bar shelf, right? And dropping it down, like missing it by that much on purpose, That's good. Okay. So, there are a few things that we can cycle through relatively quickly here because I don't have a conflict for, like, if you return the Infinity Band, I think Karen is more than happy. Karen Van Helsing.
Yep.
So any complications with that, Jay?
I don't see how there would be. No, I just returned the Infinity Band. That was a fairly one-to-one kind of interaction.
Yep, and she didn't owe you anything, so that is just, that obligation is checked off.
Yep.
And you had already paid her in fancy wooden stakes.
That will in no way, shape, or form hurt anybody.
Nope, probably not. They're just defensive.
Yeah.
Defensive weapons.
Totally just defensive.
It's for self-defense.
Yep.
So that part's taken care of. Nisumba and Sumba have fucked off in a stolen police boat.
That's right.
And I think the only thing left to resolve is Elizabeth, who wanted the amulet in the first place.
That's right. We have to deliver this before midnight. Otherwise, things go badly.
Right. And it's, what did we say? It's about 10 p.m. now?
Yep.
So, we'll do a little bit last of this evening here. What do you want to do? We've left the hotel. We've I think just hopped in someone's limo that was waiting for them. And somebody convinced the limo driver to take you where you want to go. So
I assume that we're back to our normal forms. Those of us who had a bit of a metamorphosis.
Those of us.
That is quite an assumption, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I imagine like my horns are staying, and that's okay. I just assume I'm not the giant Kernunos that I was previously.
Let's
Unless I am.
And
I mean, I don't
Sarah
know.
was a water dragon.
I recall telling
yeah.
somebody they were stuck in a form until sunrise.
That wasn't me.
That was me, but I think that was back when I was accidentally Sumba, and that was before Kernunos helped me get out of that, and that's when I got my antlers.
Kernunos broke that curse. Okay. So, individually, let's, Ryan, go ahead and just roll weird,
Yeah.
unless you roll something else for let it out. But it's not an official let it out roll.
Oh, you mean spirit, yeah?
Spirit, yep. I don't know where I got that from.
That's an 8 on the dice, plus 2 is a 10.
Ooh, okay. Yes. So you can recover as much of your humanoid form as you'd like, except for the aforementioned required antler accoutrement. So
yeah, I'll go back to my normal, super attractive Instagram poster self.
Sure.
That is the Matt Bomer body that we all know and love.
Sure.
But yeah, he's got some antlers. He's got a little accessory happening.
Got it. Okay. And let's see. Esmita, you were in demon form.
I was.
Let's have you go ahead and roll spirit as well. I know you can revert from demon form at any point, but I just want to check in on how your weirdness is going.
Okay. I got a 9.
9? Okay, that's good. So you change back to your human form. There's been a lot of magic flying around, and some little aspect of your body is still representative of your demon form. What is it? You got toe beans?
No, my eyes never came back.
Oh, okay.
So I actually leave, and it's like 10 p.m., and I'm doing my futures so bright I gotta wear shades business.
Yep.
Because I don't currently have any eyes.
Yeah, and it's not going to be like that forever. It's just, I think for all the magic that was flying around up there, you know, like it was the end of Ghostbusters, you know, the just all that stuff on the roof. So that's great. Sarah also had a little bit of a like scaly skin situation.
I'm a whole ass water dragon at the moment.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yep. So reverting to a human form, especially for a new wizard, could be a little bit tricky. So let's go ahead and roll spirit and
Good, yeah.
make sure that you're able to recover all of that.
Let's find out. Well, we rolled a 5.
I mean, I imagine as a wizard you have a decent spirit.
Well, my spirit is +1.
So that's a
Oh.
6.
No, the 5 included the 1.
Oh.
The dice said they wanted a dragon.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna reuse my dawn curse, the sunrise curse, in that you are gonna be stuck in this form. Now, I don't think you were like the size of a house, right? Because it was.
Right, no, she was like, I mean, she was bigger. She was probably like unusually large human size, like 7 or 8 feet tall.
Yeah. And sort of like Dragonborn D&D kind of thing. Like arms and legs with wings, humanoid, or more like sinewy dragon thing?
Second one with wings.
Okay. All right, cool. So yeah, that's not a form that's going to fit conveniently into a limousine, but I think you
No.
probably do have some ability to fly currently. So if you want to fly along with where we're going, or fly screeching into the sunset, like that's, you know, whatever
Whatever my
feels
heart
right
says.
in your soul.
Yeah. No, I think I'll follow the limousine. I mean, now that I am probably San's job.
Yeah, you may
I-
not be asked back here.
No, I live there. Also,
Oh,
that's where my
Did
house is.
you did live there?
that's a thing of the past. That is but you know, lucky for you, we've got some rooms upstairs. I think those people who had a snakehead bust through their floor have probably left.
Like it's
I
always
feel like-
something with
Not
this damn
bust
building.
through their floor.
That was me. I
told
burst
them
through
to
their
stop
Oh,
yelling.
okay. Well, I
Yes.
can probably put a rug over that. I bet that's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, yeah. So yeah, right, Ryan. Yeah. So there was but I feel like those people, definitely packed up and left the vicinity relatively quickly.
If they
Oh, yeah.
didn't, they're gonna. So
I mean, that guy was an asshole anyway, so it's really no loss.
Yeah,
He
I'm
hit
not saying
you
it's a
hard.
loss. In fact, I'm saying, Sal has a place to go here. So, or Sarah, sorry.
Sarah.
the bleed, the bleed.
The bleed.
Oh, no.
I know you from another time and place.
Yeah. I'm less murdery right now.
Yes, less right now.
But not zero murdery.
Nope.
Any of us really ever at zero murdery?
That's why we're here.
All right. So, let's see, Belle, oh yeah, you have a glass arm. You accepted glass arm into your heart.
That's what I did.
So that is
I
a
also-
permanent aspect for you.
I also have a bunch of harm that I would love to try to clear here.
Okay. Does anybody have magical healing abilities?
Well, I mean, I can clear. I'm a fucking demon, says I can clear my fate harm box.
Right, but you're
But I'm too serious.
yeah, the feint has to come out last. So if you can get 2 healing, then you could finish it out. But
Well, Belle, are you asking for my help?
Oh boy. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, in exchange for help later on, I'm more than happy to take a look at that for you.
is this in the car, by the way, in the limo?
Oh, totally in the car.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes. We will figure this out later as well, but it would be nice to help me out.
All right. Well, yeah. I'll go ahead and just make that 3 holes I have on Belle, and I will use Nature's Caress. Your touch
You
heals
mean
2
nature's
harm.
duress? Is that
Starting with critical harm, wounds close, bones knit back together, etc. I cannot use that power on myself. But in order to do that, I have to take harm because I'm not taking any more corruption. At least not yet. Not for that.
coward?
Well, it would fill up my corruption track again, and it feels like if I'm going to fill up my corruption track, it should be for something, badass and not just playing Florence Nightingale.
Well, also like manipulating someone into your debt.
Manipulate feels extravagant for what that was. It wasn't much of a
Extort?
extort feels better.
That's
Yep,
a good
extort
word. Okay.
feels more right. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to take 1 harm myself in order to heal you because I'm a good friend.
You
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. That's what we're going with?
All right. Well, that'll sure.
So yeah, so it basically looks like what was the wound that you're dealing with? Was it a cut or was it a
I mean, I was just generally banged up from all of that. Plus,
Okay.
Glass arm.
So it looks like the skin and muscle or whatever that needed to get put back together starts like intertwining like vines. It even
Ooh.
looks like it has like a leaf moment, and then it slowly turns flesh colored, and then it kind of just heals over. But there definitely is that moment where it's like ivy just reaching into itself and getting all tangled up and
Thanks.
super gross looking.
Yeah, I hate it.
Yeesh. Yep.
Hey, Sarah,
Yes.
will you roll spirit again for me, please?
Why not? Let's choose different dice this time.
And you're sort of rolling channeling.
Okay. All right. We got an 8.
Okay. So, on a 7 and 9, hold 3, choose 1 from the list below. But I'm not going to make you choose that because I'm going to use up one of your holds.
Okay.
As this like flickering awareness of the thoughts and conversation in the limo below you as you're flying along above the limo. You start to become aware of your compatriots, let's say, maybe not friends yet, but would you like to connect their minds?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
You're welcome.
All right.
Group chat enabled.
Oh boy.
Yep, allowing them to communicate with each other and with you, regardless of distance, for a few hours. Yep. Now, technically, it would cost 2 hold to get 3 friends into it, so that's okay too. But yeah, just wanted to establish this new ability for you.
Yay.
So you all can hear each other telepathically and can hear Sarah. And I'd say you're basically aware that like Sarah has caused this linkage. But here we are. Well, I just got a little sleep wolf.
Oh.
Oh.
I mean, are we okay about this? Is this can you all hear all of my thoughts? Because that may not be okay.
No, I think it's like you're trying to. I think there's a bit of like background noise at first, when you're like, oh, oh, okay. One thing I would like to do. So we're all gonna get this under control and just have it be, things you've chosen to communicate. But in that first burst of connection that you've never had before, I would love to have something come up that you wouldn't want at least one other person to know about. So we can take a moment and think about that. But everyone is going to broadcast one thing that they wish they hadn't. So does anybody want to go first?
I have a question while we think about that. What happened to my zombie army?
Oh, well, those particular individuals, I think, have had to shut down as you leave the area. They can't really go with you, and but you have a pretty good sense of how that magic works. You would have to do some more research to get it working up, get it, up and running again. But
Slightly more on purpose, yeah.
Trying to think of what.
some examples could be a guilty pleasure. It could be something minor that you weren't planning on telling somebody else in the group. It could even be like, Asmita and Ryan, a secret between you two is now available to everyone, or something like that, but totally up to each of you. It just has to be your secret, not someone else's. So, like, Ryan, you're not going to tell, like, Carnunos' secret, right?
Right. Yeah.
Trying to remember if everyone knows about the vampire steak that I gave the Van Helsings.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't
think Ryan did.
Yeah.
I actually think only Celeste knew about that.
Yeah.
And was fairly annoyed with you.
Yes.
But I think that counts.
Yeah, I think, letting everybody knows that I gave a bunch of very, very, very probably powerful
Yep.
vampire steaks.
Yep. It's like a long kind of like is the oboe case big enough? Maybe like it's that kind of long flat like kind of instrument case. When you open it up, there's like 4 stakes in velvet and then 4 stakes in the top half on velvet. So there's 8 intricately carved wooden stakes with like silver inlaid in the carving. And so they're fairly elaborate 8 they're vampire killing stakes. And also because I think it's common knowledge around the city, like you could stake a vampire and all it does is stick them there, right? It doesn't murder them. They have to be killed with like silver or fire, basically, or beheading, right? But beheading works on just about everyone, so not on Sumba, but I mean, it did work.
It
did.
technically worked. It's just not permanent.
Right. That they're basically gods. So
Yeah.
okay. So that's Belle's secret is revealed. Not necessarily, and I don't think Belle has like blurted this out. It's just this thing you were thinking about, right? Is like, okay, I got to return the Infinity Band, and then that sort of spun out.
Yep, that pops right out
in the moment that you were, all your minds were connected.
I think for Ryan, his mind wanders back to the scene he saw when he opened up the hotel room door of his ex, Claude, in the very, very small bath towel. And we basically see what would have happened if that scene had played out the way Ryan imagined that scene would have played out. So that's a super fun thing for all of you. But also shows that Ryan may not be quite as over him as he would lead you to believe.
Yeah. Okay. And also, we're privy to some of Ryan's proclivities.
Oh yeah, it's
Yep.
a whole thing. You're welcome.
Hey, we're TVMA. We can get away with a lot.
Oh yeah, like that image, that dream had a director. Like there was
Great.
multiple camera, like it was well choreographed.
Sure, sure. Asmita?
I think that Asmita's kind of thinking about how like it just slips a little bit that like when she does turn into her demon form that it's a relief.
Oh,
Hmm.
like the human form is the costume.
Like it not so much that, but like she has to fight so much in her human form.
Yeah.
And she's weaker and she's this and it's a whole thing and there are a lot of limitations on her human form that there just aren't in the demon form.
Noted.
That there's like along with a sense of like you know along with all the other crap, but it's a relief not to have to fight so much
Yeah,
even while she actually fights.
I like that. Okay, that's good. That's shared all around. And Sarah?
I think today's events have reminded her of kind of some of her younger escapades as a young and up and coming scrappy bartender.
Uh-huh.
And so the group is like, she's an older lady now, she's in shape, but uh, she you get a montage of a little bit more younger aggro version of Sarah than you probably would have expect, like breaking up bar fights, um, physically ejecting people from the bar.
Yeah, I
Like
love it.
she has kind of like a glory days kind of montage, and I think the rest of the group is maybe a little surprised by how scrappy she used to be. And there's a sense of like, ah, yes, this was fun.
I love it. Okay, cool. All right. So,
I like the idea that like now I just completely believe that Sarah used to head up a biker gang.
I mean, that's not out of the question.
Like
Yeah.
leader of an MC. Yes.
Okay, so we're on our way. You would need to leave the island of the power folks and get back to Wild Island, which is, I really need better names for those islands. Hey, feel free to redeem the name this channel points if you have ideas. I reserve the right to veto anything that I feel like vetoing, but feel free, chat, to weigh in with your ideas. I will do my best to make it work if it's not wildly inappropriate. I don't want you to waste your okay points. But the limo is heading through the city. We're headed for the bridge over to the other island, and Belle, what do you want to get in touch with Elizabeth? Like, what's your plan?
I mean,
here?
I suppose there's some. We must have made some arrangement to meet at a particular point in time and space.
I think you were supposed to. I think you were supposed to call her when you have it.
Yeah. So yeah, from the car, I give her a call
Uh-huh.
and let her know that I have it.
Belle, I'm so glad to hear from you. So you do have it.
I do. It is in my possession.
And that kerfuffle in a part of the city.
Was there a kerfuffle? I'm unaware of any such thing. I mean, the city is a busy, bustling, exciting place, and things tend to happen.
It certainly is. Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, and not everyone is involved in everything that happens.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay. Well, as long as you're not being pursued,
That feels very much like a my problem, not a your problem. So,
well,
I
it
have-
would become my problem if you brought them to our meeting.
Oh, yes. I will definitely not do that.
Okay. Well, just as a means of defraying any unnecessary contacts, I'd like you to meet me at a parking garage on the top level. She gives you an intersection, and you're aware of the. It's not a huge city. It's sort of like everything. Okay. It's like if you took the size of Manhattan, like just that, broke it into 5 islands. You're pretty sure you know what she's talking about. You tell the limo driver where to go, and you all head over to that meeting. Does anybody not want to go to the meeting?
Oh, Ryan wants to go. He just wants to watch. He enjoys watching things, the possibility of chaos to unfold, and he has no dog in this fight. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Well, there might be a fight. I'll go.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of have to go.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah, it's better if you do.
Yep.
Okay. So, Sarah, you kind of get there first because you can, you don't have traffic lights.
True.
And, you head over the city. You can see, actually, from this vantage point, a lot of the, tops of buildings. Wow, the number of, sacred sites and ritual circles and, summonings and things that are, set up on people's roofs. This is an unnaturally high count of stuff. But when you come over the parking garage, you know that you are solidly in the vampire faction territory. This is just you were sort of intellectually aware, but even now you can get that kind of the scent of death and more, not just like nasty death, but blood. It's more that just tinge in the air.
Smells like pennies, kind of.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't notice it if you didn't have a dragon nose right now, but circling around, it looks like there is nothing in particular happen. You could see another limousine is parked at the top of the parking structure that you all are headed towards. And if you wanted to take a closer look or try to scan the situation or anything like that, totally up to you. And you can communicate with your friends from any distance. So, what would you like to do?
I'd like to kind of take a closer look just to see, does it look like there is anyone laying in wait? Are there any traps? Just get a vibe for the situation.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start with study a place of power.
Okay. And I'm rolling plus what?
I think it's with plus your wild circle.
Okay.
It would be the night circle, right?
It
Because we're in
would be
vampire
night.
territory.
Oh, night. Yeah. Sorry, we're on Night Island, not Wild Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dice, you gotta do a good job because I have a -1 in night. Aw, what good listeners you are. I rolled 2 6s, so I get an 11.
And a thread.
Hey.
And a thread, yay!
Okay, so On a hit, you see below the surface to the reality underneath. The MC will reveal an area, NPC, or item located within that is not what it seems. On a 10 plus, your insight reveals much about the circle's politics and schemes. Ask the MC a question about the circle and take +1 forward when acting on the answer. So the circle in question, this is the night circle. And one of the things that you've noticed right away, and because your first impression of you're in the Night Island, but this is vampire faction territory. Also on Night Island are the werewolves and somebody else. I can't remember who the other Night faction is, but it's stuff. And the thing you see below the surface to the reality underneath. Okay, so the thing that you see before you ask your question is a number of the cars that are parked near the limo. There's only like 6 cars on the roof, right, including the limo, and then like 5 kind of like normal but nice cars, right? They're like BMW SUV kind of stuff, but not like Ferraris or stuff like that. And what you can see is at least, or what you can sense is that at least 2 of those cars have werewolves in them. And that's weird.
That is weird.
And there is no way in hell that the vampires on that roof don't know there are werewolves in the car. Like these 2 factions. I love Underworld. Like that is, wait, is that the movie?
Yes.
Yeah. There's no way that these factions, this is a little bit modern version of that. They're not constantly at war with each other, but they also don't like partner up for stuff usually. But it's not like, oh, surprise, we're going to jump you. So that's definitely not the situation. It's like, oh, a bunch of werewolves snuck in here and they're going to jump the vampires when they get the thing. So that's the thing that's weird that is not what it seems. But on a 10 plus, your insight reveals much about politics and schemes. You get to ask a question about the circle and you will get +1 forward when you act on the answer.
Okay. What's this might be kind of basic, but like vampires and werewolves, what's their like relationship to wizards and magic users like?
That's not even your So just as background, they're fairly neutral. Well, ultimately, like wizards, werewolves, vampires, they're kind of like the most normal of the weirds, right? And so they'll go to each other. Well, vampires and werewolves will come to the wizards for help. They don't want help from each other. And then wizards frequently will go to vampires like, hey, I need a special like blood ritual thing. Or they'll go to the werewolves like, hey, we're practicing transfiguration. Like, can you come show us some things? So there's some back and forth there. There's also tension sometimes, like when people don't get what they want, that happens too. But it's not, just open warfare. However, a werewolf going into vampire territory usually would be under escort the whole time. Like they'd need to have a reason to be there, right? You don't run over to Vampire Tavern for a beer.
No. Okay. Let's see. I guess my question would be like, in like kind of deals in between factions or whatever, how well known are vampires for like double crossing?
Well, I think less so. Like I think probably the wizards have a bigger reputation for doubling back or having crafted an agreement that is intentionally obtuse. because the vampires are much smaller numbers relatively, and so essentially they have to play ball, but they're powerful in their own right. It's just if they exert that power, people get killed. You know, they don't have like a medium setting, so and the werewolves are kind of the same, right? They have maybe more numbers than the vampires, but they also are like play nice or rip them apart with your teeth and claws.
Those are the two options. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to communicate to the group what I'm seeing. Just, I feel like this is definitely raising her suspicions, not knowing much about like the deal or social situation, like just coming in as a bartender who has dealt with suspicious people and kind of trying to suss out like who's going to be a problem. This looks problematic, maybe.
Okay.
So we know that like there are werewolves in those cars. How many is it? Is it like 2 or is it? I'm sorry, I just didn't catch the number.
Two cars.
Yeah.
That
There are
definitely
6.
have-
There's a limo and 5 other cars on the roof. Most of them have vampires in them. At least, or 2 of the cars have werewolves in them.
Okay.
And we still. Sorry.
I'm just wondering because I can okay, we can all. That's not true anymore. Belle and I can intuitively know if the deal is being honored.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they plan on like murdering us all when we get there and taking the thing, like we would know.
Does it alert you before the deal has been breached?
Well, it says we intuitively know if the deal is being honored, and then separately, anyone violating the pact instantly suffers 4 harm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think they would suffer harm as soon as they violate the pact.
Yes.
But
if they're sitting
deal
there
is not
thinking,
being honored,
yeah, I think if they're sitting there thinking like, oh, maybe I'll jump them when they get here. I'm not sure that is dishonoring the pact yet. Just thinking about dishonoring the pact, I don't.
No, but if they put in place like the systems where it's like, oh, and I'm going to bring these werewolves so that they can jump them and it's not my fault, that's still not.
Oh, right. No, I agree. No, that's, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes. If
I
they
feel like putting in place the pieces to break the pact is essentially breaking the pact.
I don't know. I think for me, it makes sense. It's pulling the trigger to break the pact. Like,
Okay,
they can always
to
change their
me,
mind. They can always walk it
Like,
back.
the harm is separate. To me, the harm is separate from the
Yeah.
knowing.
Yes.
Like, because there's the difference there between breaking the pact and honoring it.
Sure. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. You know what I'm going to have you do? If you want to like reach out and get a better sense, because I will say right now, you don't have anything that says like, oh, the pact has been broken, right? But if you want to like reach out and get a better sense of just, use your what do your pact eyes tell you? I would want to roll spirit, I think, and we'll customize a situation.
Dark bargain for me rolls with heart.
Okay, we could roll heart.
Just as a
No,
like,
I'm fine with that.
Can I piggyback off of like what the bargain itself was?
Now I'm trying to decide if I want to use place of power or figure someone out. I think we're going to do a version of figure someone out, but you're rolling with heart.
Okay. I got a 7.
Okay. So on a hit, you ask 2 questions. On a 7 and 9, they ask one of you as well. And I think it's just your sensory, it goes both ways. And so you will reveal something about yourself to them. But do you have the figure someone out questions there?
Let me pull them up real quick. There's so many moves. Okay. On a hit, ask 2 is what's your character hoping to get from having these werewolves here?
Okay. that is actual like security, right? Like safety and security, right? Does that make sense? Like not an ambush. It's
Okay.
like unless they are being ambushed, right? It's a mutually assured destruction.
And how can I put your character in my debt?
So a little convoluted, but if you can make Elizabeth believe that the werewolves have been planning to double cross her this whole time, that they only agreed to come on this job because they were going to take the thing and run, that's not like nothing about this information has told you that. But if you made Elizabeth believe that, she would owe you a debt. She would think that you saved her from a close shave. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And then what is she asking of me?
Okay. Yeah, I think from Elizabeth's point of view, what does your character worry is going to happen?
Specifically about this meeting?
Yeah.
I worry that while Belle and I are safe because of the terms of our pact, sealed in smoke and blood, Sarah and Ryan are not.
Mm. And so you're worried that they would be attacked or something while carrying this out?
Yeah, I worry that like their involvement with this will bring them to harm.
Okay.
And that would be my fault.
So by the wording of your pact, could Elizabeth like grab Ryan and hold him hostage to like try to change the terms of the deal? Because he's not part of the...
She has to honor the contract with Belle.
Yes.
She could try to force him to grab him to make a separate deal.
Right.
But this deal is set in how it is.
Okay, but like doing harm to Ryan doesn't affect the pact with you and Belle.
No.
Okay.
Unless she is doing harm, like if she's trying to do harm to Ryan or threatening harm to Ryan to force us to do something else.
Okay, that would okay, that's good.
Then that would interfere. But like,
I like thinking about this kind of stuff.
If she grabs Ryan or Sarah and is like, "Cool, now I want you to go get something else from me," or "Now I want you to also like hand over anything else, or like that you grabbed from the tower, or I'm just feeding you like these gifts that keep tripping from my tongue."
Yeah.
But like any of that stuff wouldn't affect the deal that we made, because the deal that we made was for the amulet. And what the terms were for the amulet. Her trying to change those would be dishonoring that contract.
Okay. But grabbing someone to make another deal would not. And you're basically allowing that information that she now knows you're worried about, Ryan and Sarah's safety.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Would anyone else like to interact with this information you're getting from Sarah? I think questions along the lines of, study a place of power would be okay. I might have you roll at disadvantage if you're not Sarah. Just because you're kind of getting a filtered input.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, we would just have you study a place of power.
I think I would like to do that. Ignore the noise coming from my house.
Yep.
But I think I would like to do that.
I've got jackhammers. I can't really complain about house noise.
Yeah, I'd like to sort of survey the scene here that we're sort of seeing through Sarah's eyes.
Okay, so with
Sarah's
disadvantage,
eyes.
you're going to roll 3 dice and take the worst 2. The lower 2.
What's it? Oh, that's not great. That is a 3 on the dice.
Oh, okay. And what's your night circle?
My night circle is a 1, so that's a 4.
Ooh, fancy.
Not good. Not good, Bob.
Okay. So, I don't want to take a hard move because this is kind of just a weird situation that you're in, but on a hit, you would see below the surface. The MC will reveal an area, NPC, or item. That's not what it seems. I think I would like you to proceed with the overwhelming confidence and assurance that this is everything's above board. You would know if somebody was going to breach the deal. Everything's gone smoothly.
Yep.
And there is just no reason to doubt that anything could go wrong in this situation.
Nothing could possibly... What could happen?
Okay, great. And, I mean, that's not wrong. It could go down just fine. You just don't know that for a fact. So, Sarah, you're circling around, and let's see. Did we have any description of Elizabeth, or was she just always kind of in the background?
We never actually met her. We met with her like associate or proxy.
I thought we met with Lisbeth and then.
No, I think we met.
I think we met like her lawyer.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
this is
Lena.
Yeah, Lena.
We did not meet with
We met
Elizabeth.
Lena.
We met Lena.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember if Elizabeth was supposed to be French, but I can't do a French accent. So not one that doesn't sound like the crab from Little Mermaid. So, which I'm pretty sure is offensive. So I'm gonna say she probably has a light French accent, but is oh, I can't believe I'm blanking on the actress's name. The guard from Wakanda, the bald lady. Oh my gosh.
Denai Guerrera.
Yes, that is who plays Lisbeth, and has a light French accent, but has obviously been living in the English-speaking world a long time. So, Joey, I did mean the chef. You're right. The just like ridiculous cartoon French chef. Okay, so Elizabeth steps out of the car in this like immaculate white pantsuit and heels, and looks up at you like circling overhead, Sarah. Mm-hmm. And you can feel the like polite request for telepathic connection, as in she would like to telepathically communicate with you. But it's not intrusive. The only thing is you would have to drop your network to be able to connect with her.
I think I'm gonna do it. She asked politely.
I mean, it's still better to text first. Some people just call. It's like, what?
No, just throws phone. What is happening?
What is this feature?
It made a noise. Yeah, I am a dragon, and she asked nicely. So let's see what she has to think at me.
Okay. So you all know, like, Sarah's dropping the link. She, like, I think you could tell she did it on purpose and wasn't just shot out of the air.
Thank God, that was weird.
Oh, don't worry, I'll do it again.
Earliest opportunity. Also, Sarah, I'm going to say, since you now have linked them before, I think from any distance you could set that up again. You still have to roll for it, but it's no longer like you don't have to be hanging out with them to do it.
Cool.
Yeah, so you connect her voice in your mind, and she asks, "Are you with Belle?"
Yes.
Do you mean us harm?
Not unless you mean us harm.
We don't.
Well, good.
Well, you'd be welcome to land if you'd like. I just wanted to ask the question.
I appreciate it. And she'll land at a polite distance.
Yeah, that's like, halfway across the...
Yeah.
It's probably for the best.
Polite distance, also vantage point from which I can see the most of them.
Sure. And I think, like, 2 more vampires get out of Elizabeth's car, and then we get a couple of werewolves getting out of the, like, BMW SUV with Did anyone else watch True Blood? Because, like, Joe Manganiello as a werewolf is, like, a whole situation for me.
I didn't watch it, but I can understand.
Yeah.
I would climb him like a beanstalk.
Yes. Indeed. So him and another one that nobody is looking at get out. And they all have, firearms and, look like they're here to do business. They're not all in, like, body armor and whatever else. It's just they have guns, right? But Sarah, you land. Some of them get out of their cars. There's a bunch more people in their cars. And we're all kind of just looking at each other for
I'm
now.
making sure to, like, make a chill posture, not
Yeah.
a, like, about to pounce dragon posture. Like,
Yep.
a wings down, just
Sure.
no tail swishing, like, very
Yep.
chill.
Yep. Yeah, you get pretty similar kind of body language from everybody else. Because also, like, werewolves and vampires are both sort of like apex predator, among a humanoid population. Dragon, maybe. We don't know. But yeah, I think your limo pulls into the parking garage. You go up, I think it's 3 stories, let's say, and that is the perfect place. As your limo comes up, parks, you're looking out at everything kind of like going on the roof here. Your driver is like, "Is this the right place?" The driver who you've, like, this is not your car, right? Like, so the don't click Canada, that's good. Werewolf accidentally activates a laser sight, and there's a tense moment as Sarah gets very interested.
Ooh, shiny.
Well, I mean, cats
Do
become
dragons chase laser pointers?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Dragons are just scaly winged cats that are the size of houses.
Yeah, that makes sense. They'd be more cat than dog for sure, I think.
I mean, I think anyone who's really looked at, like, examined all the ways in which cats, like, nap know that they're just waiting to become dragons later.
Yeah.
That metamorphosis definitely happens.
Yep, that makes sense. Okay, now we know where dragons come from. Okay, so your car pulls up. Everyone's kind of looking at each other. Perfect time to take our mid-game break. I need to actually go get a couple things in the kitchen, so we'll probably take like a 10-minute break. So look for us at 11:42 our time, and we'll be back in just a few moments. All right. See you in a minute.
Short of Sam.
Well, yes. Oh my gosh, phone. Calm down. Hi.
Yeah.
I'm Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. Thank you, Raiders. We're so excited to see you. Our red Pandroid has stepped out for just a moment. We'll be back momentarily. And we're here to get back into the story. We have successfully assaulted Wizard Tower and acquired the MacGuffin and are have made our way over to the Vampire District and are ready to make the handoff that Belle and Asmita have arranged as part of a deal. The scene so far is that we're meeting on the top of a parking garage. There are 6 cars there. One of them's a limousine, where Elizabeth, the French vampire, is waiting for this deal to go down, and Sarah, who's currently stuck in the form of a small dragon, like an 8-foot tall dragon, just a little bitty one.
Just a little itty bitty.
Has landed on the roof as sort of the vanguard to come in and say hello. And then Belle, Asmita, and Ryan in their limo have pulled up on top of the roof as well now, and we're ready to make acquaintances. For the deal, that you have brought an amulet. Jay, do you remember what the amulet looks like? Do you want to describe that?
I do not remember.
Ooh, does anyone remember?
No, I wasn't there for the deal anyway. So
Well, no, from last episode, but I did not write down what it looks like.
Let me consult my tome and see if I... It is an iron chain with a jewel in the center.
Right. And it's like a series of discs. So there's a little jewel. I think I may have altered it from the very first time that was described. But it's a series of, like, there's a little gold disc in the middle, and the discs get smaller and smaller as they go up.
Right.
And they depict, like, the phases of a solar eclipse.
Right.
that's right.
Now, when you mention it, it feels this is probably a bad idea to have given this to them, but too late now.
Correct. It's also worth noting that our contact here, oh, my mic is hot. Thank you for telling me that. Also, I was probably just talking really loud because I'm excited. Thank you, Dorkloid Canada. I'll just pull that limiter down a little bit. Elizabeth is would be played by Denai Guerrera of Wakanda fame. Well, that's what I know her from. I know she's done a lot more stuff than that. But giving us that bald look, tall, like just pristine white pantsuit, white heels, and is standing out there waiting for Belle to arrive, and that's good timing. And our Sam has returned to us. Hi, Sam. We went back a little bit early because a bunch of raiders come in, and we wanted to say hi to the raiders.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Yeah.
They get to watch me eat a sandwich, so.
That's all right. All things for the sandwich. Let's see, just catching up on chat a little bit here too. Divine Shadow Island Umbrella. That's pretty good. Umbrella Land, also very good. Joey, you stay out of this.
I will not.
Joey, I prefer you to take a measured, calm, and reasonable approach.
Your preference is understood and record has been made, but I make no promises.
That's good. Okay, so your car pulls up the deal's about to go down. Sarah is doing a good sit. A very, very good sit. We have we also have an odd thing about this meeting for folks coming in is that the vampires are here and they also have some werewolf backup, which is pretty weird. That is not a normal thing. It's not that they're at war like the underworld, but they're not buddies usually. And so Elizabeth is here, and then we also have a delicious Joe Manganiello. Wait, is that the right adjective that I wanted? That's probably not
Correct.
the word I meant to use, but just straight out of True Blood, Joe Manganiello werewolf. So he's fully man form, but is just standing by with another werewolf, and they're just here to watch over the situation. No one's like jumping out of the shadows or anything, because we know what happens in the shadows.
What do we do in the shadows?
So you all pull up. What happens?
Well, I mean, I've got the amulet, so I will approach Elizabeth, whatever.
Elizabeth. Yep.
Elizabeth, and say, well, one, I assume you're Elizabeth. We have not met.
I am. Also, again, for folks just coming in, light French accent that I can't do. So just imagine with your mind.
Awesome. Cool. Nice to meet you. What is with the bodyguards?
Well, we wanted to make sure everything would proceed according to plan. And, of course, as you've heard, all of the things going on lately, we thought some additional backup would be appropriate. Now, out of character, her statement right there may seem like non sequitur, right? Like, what all has been going on? Like there've been like a couple minor things, but like you can't think of like what has been going on that would make vampires want to team up with werewolves for like a basic handoff, deal
exactly.
going down.
Like, granted, we also did just, blow up a whole damn hotel.
Right, but this arrangement probably would have been made before tonight, right? Like that vampires and werewolves don't have a good sort of like off the cuff relationship. Versus like if the wizards called the Van Helsings, right? And we're like, hey, can we team up on something? Yeah, okay, great. Let's figure out what we're doing and go do it. Because that,
right. But
we often have interests aligned, right?
Negotiating.
Or the Tainteds and the Imps, right? There's often things that are in the same bailiwick.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryan would like to try to figure her out a little bit because this seems like overkill. Like kind of what you're saying. Like it's odd that why the werewolf protection? The vampires kind of take care of themselves. They don't care for the werewolves. Like, I think there's more to what she's saying, and
Well,
I want
kind
to
of know also what happened with Celeste, right?
do we? I don't think she told us what happened.
Oh, okay, because when she showed up, all like, I got shot in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But at that point, the conversation was, "Get me fed," not what had. Well,
yeah, I don't think Celeste was ever like had an opportunity to relay that story.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Because there was an emergency, and then we moved on to other things, and then it didn't come up again, and
So many emergencies.
So many emergencies. All right, figure someone out. Oh, that's mine. Okay. Oh, that's not bad. That's a 9. Okay. I'll take that 9.
Okay. So, what would you like to ask?
I want to ask, what does your character worry is going to happen? That's causing these extra, like...
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
aside from like what's happening between us, like clearly you got something else on your mind, which is why you brought the dog pack. Like, what's
Sure. I think she is expertly hiding it, but she is like her body language is like she wants to look over her shoulder constantly, right? There is something that she's afraid of, and it's not you, but there's something that she's real concerned enough about that they're going around with a werewolf bodyguard backup, and that the werewolves would want to is interesting, but can't read too much into that just through body language. What else would you like to ask?
Oh, that's all I can ask.
You
on a
get
7 to
2.
9.
It's just I get to ask one back.
Oh, okay, lovely.
And so we'll also assume everyone has stepped out of the limo at this point.
Yeah.
Sure. What is your character? No.
Favorite color?
Yes.
What?
Is the air
How can I
sweet
get your
and
character to tell us what's going on?
Hmm. That would be. She would need to know that she could trust you, right? Like she's paranoid about something, worried about something, and she doesn't know that you all aren't part of it. Especially since Celeste isn't here, like she's kind of on edge, and she knows Celeste, right? Celeste's a friend of hers. You, sir, are no Celeste. Sorry. 90s politics humor. Was that 2000s?
I don't get that reference.
Oh, that's okay.
90s. It was the 90s.
Okay,
90s,
thank you,
yeah.
Jake.
It's interesting that you would bring the pack to
Oh.
the.
Wait, hold on a second. I realized I didn't finish with Joey's thing.
Oh, sorry.
So, Joey, you asked, how can I get your character to... What
Tell
was
us what's
it?
going on. Like, tell us
Right.
what you're worried about.
Okay. And so you would need to prove to her that she can trust you. And now I get to ask one back because you got a 7 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
And her question for you is, how can I put you in my debt?
Nice.
By feeding me vital information about Claude and what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, information about Claude. Okay, so yeah, as you get out of the car, you are eyeing up Elizabeth, and she eyes you, and then you can tell that she recognizes you. You're not sure why. I don't think you've ever met her before, but you can just tell, and she lets it show on her face that she recognizes you. She gives a kind of like a, oh, it's you. Not all of this is nonverbal, but you definitely pick up that vibe. But
Well, I'm flattered that you feel the need to bring such protection when I'm coming along with this, but I assure you that the werewolves are unnecessary.
okay. And Esmita, what were you gonna get into?
Oh, I just find it I find it interesting that you would give such power over yourself to the pack by believing that they would never interfere with your business, with our business, especially when the stakes are so high.
We don't care for that word.
My apologies.
I'm just kidding. That's a tone break. I just couldn't let a dumb joke go. I'm X-carding my own dumb joke.
Especially when the cost could be so painful.
Well, we have aligned interests, as I'm sure everything that's been happening is less of a concern for you. However, we have not completely secured a solution to the current situation, and so we have to take precautions. But
What
all of that is
situation?
not your problem. We would simply like to complete our deal.
Well, if we can be of any assistance in this situation, I mean, surely anything that affects any one of us affects us all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I certainly have enough assistance from the security contractor. Joey, what's Claude's last name?
Oh, I don't think I gave him the last name.
Monsieur Van Damme.
Give me a sec. Quick Google. Boop, boop, boop.
Irish last names. Potato.
Wow.
Rude.
Let's go with. Oh, that's a terrible alliteration.
I think Claude Potato is fine.
Burke. Burke is fine.
Claude Burke.
I'll take Burke.
All right. We have our security arrangements mostly organized by Monsieur Burke, who I believe you are familiar with. And
Mm-hmm.
as I said, these things are not your concern. We would simply like to complete our deal. And I'm sure you all can feel the clock ticking, as it were. So
We can. We do have a few more moments, and as you said before, you were concerned that people were following us to this meeting, but now I'm a little bit concerned that they're following you, and that we're now engaged in your trouble.
we haven't introduced you to any trouble yet, but dilly-dallying could result in problems, so perhaps we can complete our business and be on our way.
Well, it's a shame that Mr. Burke's security is so lack that you had to align yourselves with your friends here.
And we all know the reputation that he has. I mean, how often promises go unfulfilled
Does
when they
anyone
don't
have
completely align with his interests?
Does anyone have a +2 in mind?
Yes.
I have a
Nope.
+1.
Nobody
I
has
got it.
+2?
Nope.
Big ol' 0.
Okay. Does anybody roll something else when you figure someone out? Esmita, what do you roll?
I roll heart.
And
when
what's
I
that
tempt him
at?
with power. +2.
That's at +2? Okay. So you know, as you're like continuing this conversation, you catch the flicker. Elizabeth is doing a very good job keeping her mask, her sort of composure. But she is starting to lose her patience, right? She's like wanting to complete this and finish the deal, and like is becoming impatient. She hasn't said so. She just, hears what you're saying, clears her throat, and says, "All that notwithstanding, we have an arrangement. I would like to close out our arrangement and be on our way."
Of course.
Of course. And
So-
I guess I will offer her amulet.
Okay, now out of character, has she basically already paid for this, right? Or no, she had promised an amount.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you bring the amulet over to her. Is this just like loose in your hand? I don't think it had a case or anything,
No,
right?
no, it's just hanging out in my pocket.
Dangle.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah, you step out with the necklace, and somebody else gets out of her car, who has a let's see. I don't know if this is a briefcase amount of money.
I'm trying to remember how much it was.
Yeah.
Two debts.
Yeah, it was like
Two
two
debts.
debts worth of money, which is not insignificant. I think because she already owed you, was that something that came up? Or she is now owing you?
She is now owing me.
Yeah. Okay. So, I think for the fiction of it, like some money changes hands, right?
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, you have two debts on Elizabeth that you can call in.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I think they hand you a leather folio, with, it's like a zip up folio, and it has some cash inside it, and it has like a handwritten, thank you note, and
Oh, that's lovely. That's real classy. Nice touch.
oh well, oh God, screw this! Coming in with the excellent information: 1 million in hundreds will fit into a Halliburton briefcase, but not a standard leather briefcase.
Ooh.
Okay. Well, I don't think.
Want to know how you know that.
Yeah, I don't think it's $1 million, but it is certainly a big number. We can abstract those types of things here, but you certainly have an amount of cash available to you, and debts that you could call in. Also, like if you wanted to repair something on the building, you could probably get the vampires to help out with something,
Great.
right?
Good to know.
So
I wanted them to not kill us all
yeah.
as we stand. That feels like something you can engage a debt for.
Yep. And rather than put the necklace in a bag or anything, they hand you the folio belt, they take the necklace, they give it to Elizabeth, and she just immediately, smiles and just like clips it on and kind of looks down at it like, this is excellent. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure doing business with you. I look forward to doing business again in the future. And
So do I?
what did you say? Why or buy?
I said, so do I.
Oh, okay. If there's nothing else,
Just say hello to Monsieur Brooke for me.
oh, I'd be happy to.
Cool.
She just like the tiniest little quirk of what would be a shit-eating grin if she wasn't so poised and together. If she were a little bit more of a dickhead, it would. But
I mean, I'm not going anywhere. I'm standing right here. I'm not. I am going to let them all leave first.
okay.
I'm not turning my back.
Anything else from our group?
I mean,
Not until they leave.
If she wants to continue to place her trust in those who have proven themselves untrustworthy, there's nothing I can do about that.
If I wanted to try to make some kind of roll to see what that necklace did for her, I don't know what that would be. I don't know if that would be figure someone out or study a place of power or what, but
It would be a let it out roll.
Oh.
With the attendant corruption.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, that's fine.
Ooh, that's beautiful. That's a 10 on the dice plus 2 spirit is a 12. So you can take your corruption and stick it somewhere else.
So you'd rather have the complications?
I'd rather have the complications. Yeah,
Oh boy.
I like complications. They're fun.
Okay. So when she puts the necklace on,
Mm-hmm.
there is a moment where you're like, oh, okay, that's why I couldn't see this before. It was like not plugged in.
Mm-hmm.
And when she dons it, it activates as a talisman or amulet. But it is a very subtle thing. And what it is a it imbues her with a relationship to the sun, where in our world vampires don't just burst into flames in the sun, but it is like uncomfortable to be in the sun, and it seems like this is going to largely protect her from that, and probably has some other abilities as well, but just off the cuff, it absolutely has like a sun slash solar magic baked into it that is going to be protecting her. And the complication is that your ability to tell this came from this, like the discs on the necklace collectively catching some light that doesn't exist, and it has like flashed your eyes, right? Like you currently can't see very well at all. You can see kind of outlines, as if you had just walked out into the daytime from a dark theater, but like times 5, right? It's just extreme version of that. So for the moment, you can't see very well. You're all, your night vision's all burnt out, and it's recovering, but that is a minor complication for the moment.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if there's any kind of roll I need to make to try to make it look like I'm okay, even though I'm not, or if it's going to be obvious. But I'd like to try to keep my composure as much as possible.
I'm up for a keep your cool roll, because otherwise you probably would be pretty obvious. You're like, oh god.
Yeah. Okay, that's spirit again. Hooray, spirit! We love spirit. Yes, we do. Well, that's a 6 total. That's fine. Yeah, so Ryan's absolutely gonna flinch and turn away as it happens.
Yeah, I like the worst thing I can imagine to Ryan happening to Ryan is that he's like embarrassed by this reaction. You like flinch, you turn away, you're like, oh my gosh, and you can hear some like chuckles from the various guard and personnel, which Elizabeth like snaps her fingers, right, and that all ends immediately. But the rest of you can see like she's just eyeing Ryan for an extra second, like she has made a mental note about something. And you all don't even understand why Ryan just flinched away, right? This is not you all saw like a little bit of a gold flash on this necklace, but it's not that weird. It was it's a magic amulet, but
to be expected.
Ryan flinching away like that, like, oh God, seems pretty odd. But so Elizabeth says, I hope your friend is all right. Belle, have we concluded our business to your satisfaction? And she also waits for you to like open the folio and make sure that it has what you want in it.
Yes.
All right. Esmita, I know you were party to this arrangement as well. Are you satisfied?
And I'm going to channel my inner patron
Mm?
It's like, the terms of this contract have been fulfilled.
Okay. Then Elizabeth says, then we will take our leave.
Cool.
Okay. And everyone sort of like starts moving towards their cars, and if y'all don't do anything, they're gonna get in their cars and
Just
That's-
just as she leaves, it's like a friendly word of advice. You might want to choose who protects your back.
is there
Slightly better.
better than who?
Better than the person with a knife pointed at it rather than away from it.
Well,
And
this
I'm gonna
sounds
get
like
back
something.
into like,
Can you make me aware of a plot of some kind? Because I would be grateful.
well, I do hear certain rumors. And I know that where I've already forgotten Claude's last name.
Burke.
Burke.
And I know that when a job has interfered with Claude's personal ambitions in the past, I know exactly which one wins there.
I see. This is
Yeah. As I'm like blinded, his ambitions have a body count.
Well, that is interesting to know. I appreciate that. And if there's ever something I can do to be helpful to you in return, I hope you will feel free to contact me through the normal channels. And she sort of nods at Sarah again, like, it's a big fucking dragon on the roof.
Waves a tail at her.
Could we, unless Pooja wants to do this, but if not, would I be able to parlay that last bit of conversation about Claude into weakening someone's standing? It's technically a city move. I don't know if we could do that in this.
We'll get to that.
Okay,
We'll get
fine.
to that.
That's fine.
Okay, so unless you all need to do anything else, they're going to get in their cars and drive out of here.
That is fine. As long as they're getting in their cars and driving away and
Yep.
not attacking us, I am fine.
Okay. So I imagine here on the roof, y'all are taking a second to catch your breath.
Sarah's gonna take a second just to like use her dragon senses to scope out the area and see if any of these werewolves or vampires left a sample of their hair or something just laying about. Did they shed?
All right, let's roll. I think that's actually a let it out.
Okay. And I let it out plus spirit, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay. I take another thread because I get doubles, and we got a 9.
Okay, so on a 9, you're going to mark corruption and activate an ability from your playbook. And it will be costly, limited, or unsafe. Limited, I think, is probably the fine thing to do there. But if we don't have an appropriate move on your playbook, we'll just say you use Dragon Sense.
I have detect the presence and function of magical items or spells.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Okay.
So yeah, you sniff around. You also mark a corruption.
I did.
But yeah, when you head over to where the main werewolf was, who was backing up Elizabeth, we didn't get his name. Less important. but yeah, you do find some hair on the ground that you are quite certain belong to a werewolf.
Excellent. I will make a mental note of that guy's face or that person's face, and take that and I don't know, put it in a scale for later.
I think I hate it.
I love your dragon form. Thanks, it has
Listen.
pockets.
Yeah. Make your own pockets.
Mm.
You're welcome.
I'm sad now. You could have a friend hold it for you.
I don't trust any of these guys yet.
Okay.
That's fair.
I'm hurt.
I heard
Listen,
I'm
she
dead.
has heart eyes for you. That doesn't mean the trust needs to come still.
Yeah, trust and heart eyes are not necessarily the same thing.
No.
No.
Well, I could have told my early 20s that.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
Damn it.
And my late 20s.
Or early 30s.
All of the above.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you sniff around, you find that, and as you all are sort of looking at each other, I assume kind of getting ready to go home.
Yeah.
You hear screeching car tires, some bangs, and then actual gunfire going off on the street below.
That sure
What's
sounds
happening? Who's talking?
That sure sounds like none of my problem. Is there a way for us to leave that doesn't go that way?
Yeah, well, I mean, it sounds like it's kind of a running gun battle at this point. It's like if you went to look over the edge of the garage, you could probably see something, but it depends on how you want to do.
Oh, I'm not interested.
I do want to see what's going on.
I'm just going to go sit in the car and be like, well, just let me know when you're ready to go.
Okay. Anyone else going over to the edge?
I
I'll
mean,
take a look.
I'd like to if I could see. So I'm gonna
Yeah, I
stick
think
with
you
Belle.
could. Yeah, you
Am I
can
back
see
now?
something. Yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll head over because I'm interested.
You're not fully back to elf eyes yet, but yeah, you peer over the edge and you can see Elizabeth's limousine fishtailing a little bit as it goes over a spike strip.
Oh.
And the car is able to keep going because it has the like fancy run flat tires, but it skids a little bit as that happens. Whoever's driving is expertly recovers from the situation, and the car takes off. A number of the other cars aren't able to take off, and like one of the SUVs like kind of crashes into a pile of trash and like into the like front window of a barbershop across the street, and they get out and they're shooting at somebody you can't see because they're like in the bottom level of the parking garage, but that gunfire continues and several motorcycles take off out of the parking garage, deftly avoiding the spike strip and just screaming out after chasing the limo. So you get like half a dozen motorcycles that way. You can hear a fair amount of gunfire coming from, happening back and forth across the street. And then what's your initial response? That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That was a lot.
And this is sort of an ongoing situation.
That's a lot for someone else to deal with. That seems like somebody's having a real bad day down there.
Yeah, but think of what we could get from them if we offer our help. I didn't even care which who.
It sounds like it's just a lot of trouble.
This is quite the situation, and I am not interested in sticking my neck out for Elizabeth at this point. I warned her.
Elizabeth's gone.
Yeah, like her security that she hired was terrible, and this is what happens when you hire terrible, incompetent security.
Well,
However,
what better way to
I
prove
am
that point?
really interested to know who is going after them right now.
And what better way to point out the holes in their security than to make sure the security is completely gone.
I mean, whoever is down there with them is doing a fine job of that.
Yeah.
I don't
Listen.
feel the need to get in on that except to know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a rare group that will make a stand against the vampires and the werewolves, and enough to bring them together.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's up for some reconnaissance?
I mean, if you are welcome to do all the reconnaissance you want and report back, and if there's something interesting, I will obviously back up your play and get involved. But I'm gonna go home and not have to worry about it because it's not my problem.
How close are we to sunrise?
It's probably like 11 p.m. at this point.
Oh, we got plenty of time. So I'm gonna be a dragon for a while.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. I could join you in some reconnaissance.
I do have a question, Jason, and I just a ruling on a wording thing.
Mm.
So one of my let it out moves is compel the elements of your court to reveal what they have seen, which is past tense. Would it be potentially possible to use let it out to get some kind of fairy reconnaissance to follow Elisabetta's limousine and report back?
Wait, let me look at that.
Yeah,
It's not a no. I just
right. I mean, I have another option as well to kind of do the same thing, but I want to see if I can let it out first before I...
Faye. Which move is it?
It's let it out, compel the elements of your court to reveal what they have seen.
Oh. And what is it you want to get?
I want to try to get the elements of my court to basically follow Elisabetta and report back to what's happening on that end. Because we're going to be here. I want to know, does she make it out alive? Does she still have the necklace?
Okay, yes.
Who's
I think
attacking
in
them?
the future, you will be able to use this to find that out. I think
Okay,
that's
perfect.
fine. I just don't think it's like a real time, like what's happening now. So, yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Perfect. I love that. I will definitely do that. Cool. Yeah, I'm down for reconnaissance. I want to know what's happening.
Oh, actually, as a quick note, the like pixies that you've dealt with before, they're gonna want something to follow her. So
well, that's why I'm asking. I actually have a debt. They owe me a debt.
oh, okay. Are you
But-
willing to cash that in?
Well, that's why I was trying to use Let It Out first to see if that would work, and that was my backup. If Let It Out would not work, was to cash in the debt to make them do that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need both.
Okay.
Because it's such like a specific and immediate, like, hey, follow that car. I think the debt will pull that in, and then the let it out is, they don't have to tell you, right?
Oh,
You're gonna compel them to reveal what they saw. So
Okay, yeah, that works for me. So yeah, I will. I want to say that they gave me some kind of small token, like an acorn or something, that they, when we had our last exchange at Beltane, and I'm gonna put some of my magic into it and throw it up into the air as kind of a signal to get the pixies their attention.
sure, it explodes in glitter,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's probably the right thing, right?
Yeah, I buy that.
Okay. And yeah, right away the several pixies show up, grinning with their wicked sharp, like piranha teeth. And they understand, you can kind of speak to them emotionally, mentally, and they pick up on what you want them to do. They appear, they're like, they have some relief at like a debt being relieved, like that's good. Yes, let's do this so we can wipe it off the board. And then they zip off into the night and are going to keep an eye on her.
All right, well, that's one thing down. Let's go see who's firing on this SUV, yeah?
Yes, I really want to know.
Okay. So we're we're like walking down the ramp, we're going to the stairwell, we're hopping over the edge. We're 3 stories up, but for some of you, that's not a problem.
Well, I'm gonna see if Sarah has a problem giving me a hand down or a wing, as it were.
Mm-hmm. No, that's totally fine. She was actually going to suggest flying after those motorcycles and picking off the backmost one. Just picking them up to interrogate or whatever.
Okay.
I would like to see what we're dealing with before we decide to embroil ourselves in a conflict that, at least at this point, has literally nothing to do with us.
Sure.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, so Sarah will let Esmita ride on her back and just kind of gently lower them to like a side that's not facing where the gunfire is happening. So we can kind of see who it is from behind.
Okay. Yep.
So I don't want them to see us.
Okay. I have a roll for that. Also, Pooja, do you have any more output on your volume?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Thanks. Okay, so you're wanting to sneak downstairs
Yes.
to see if Santa has brought your presents.
What flavor the sacrifices are.
Okay, so I'd like to start with a keep your cool.
Okay.
Now, I'm sorry, I was looking at a couple different things. How is it that are you chasing motorcyclists, or are you...
No, we're gonna, I'm gonna like hover down the side of the parking garage so we can look in on the level where the shooters are.
Okay, but off to the side, not in the middle of the crossfire?
Correct.
Right, okay. I don't know, maybe you want to jump in the middle of crossfire. I don't judge
really.
much. Okay, so... Ooh, hey, thanks for that reminder, Dorkler Canada and Nightbot. We have to update that Blythe has had to take her leave, and we have Sam with us now. So, but yeah, I think hovering down there is fine. One thing, as you're all sort of discussing what to do, what you want to do next, Ryan, what were you going to do as this is happening?
Yeah, I'm going down with them.
Okay.
If there's enough room for the hover down, cool. If not, I have no problem being sneaky, going down the stairs of the parking garage to get a better view.
Yeah, I don't think Sarah can carry 2 in this form. She's still like beginner dragon, Dragon 101. Oh, excellent redeem in the chat. Everyone stretch. This is good. Whatever you need to stretch your stretchies. Ugh.
Oh,
excellent
too much
suggestion.
cracking is happening.
And it's good for the viewers as well. You should take opportunity to stretch and hydrate. Here we go. Let's use those channel points. Excellent suggestions. Thank you.
Yeah, so if she can't carry me, I'm just going to go down the stairs of the parking garage, trying to keep out of sight and not get noticed.
Belle, are you just pulling the... Shoot, what was the kid's name in Die Hard who's driving the limo and just like parks downstairs to just like party by himself? What was it?
Argyle.
Argyle, yes. Are you just pulling an Argyle
Pretty
up
much.
here?
Yep. I'm just scrolling to my phone, sitting in the back of the limo.
Yeah, the driver like lowers the barrier for a second. He's like, just so you know, these are bulletproof windows, so I'm happy
Even
to stay
better.
here too.
Yep, they'll be back shortly.
Okay, just let me know if you need anything. It puts the divider back up.
Yep, just gonna drink some mineral water,
Okay,
scroll through Twitter,
Yep.
see what's going on.
you can hear some gunfire downstairs and various other things, but none of it's your problem right now.
Nope,
So
not my problem.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so as the 3 of you are like, okay, Sarah, you're going to pick up Esmita, Ryan, you're ready to go to the stairs, and you kind of take another peek over, you see one person get out. It's not our most delicious vampire or werewolf. It's another one who gets out and like wolfs out, like is like in the wolfman mode, right? And just roars and goes to charge across the street, and then we just see bullets like pop, 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 pop. It's just like he's hit like probably 10 times, which normally wouldn't be an issue for a werewolf, but you can see this like white smoke coming from the wounds. And Sarah, you can smell the silver for like there's no reason to hide that. You can just smell the silver, particularly how it reacts to their blood and what that's doing to them. Yeah, you all see this wolfman like fully wolfed out, like in the height of his power, just gunned down with silver bullets in the middle of the street, and he just collapses onto his face and slowly shrinks back to his man form. So that's part of what's happening as you go over the edge to take a peek.
She'll say quietly to Esmita, well, whoever it is has silver bullets. I don't fancy getting shot with one of those. I don't think they're good for dragons either, probably.
And don't forget, you can be telepathic with all of this.
Oh, right, yeah.
Pretty sure bullets of any kind aren't going to be great for any of us.
Not a fan.
No. But
bad for your skin, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it does give us information. It means they knew who they were targeting and what would be most effective.
Yeah, it actually would have been great against vampires as well. They don't like silver bullets either.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any discerning markings or color schemes or sigils that are on anything they're wearing or the cars they're driving that might be able to like pinpoint kind of who they might be? Or is it all just like...
Well, I think we'll go downstairs and find out. First, I have to know, I didn't want to bother it, but this is what's sitting next to me.
Oh,
and she has a little green blanket that you can't tell because there's a...
It's green. Because it's green.
Yeah.
Cute. Little cinnamon roll.
She's like just a spider short. She's got these long legs. And they come together and it's like, there's too many, like, I can't count them. There's too many legs here. There's more than 4. Yeah, so let's do a sneak then. So Sarah, let's have you keep your cool as you fly down the side of the building.
Let's give it a try. Everybody be cool. Dice.
And it's plus spirit.
Relatively cool. We got an 8.
Okay. So I think the thing that's going to cost you is you head over the side and you're like, okay, yes, I'm getting used to how to do this. And then you realize like carrying Esmita is throwing you off.
Sure.
And you're going to either have to drop her 2 floors or crash.
2 floors?
Yeah, it's like 25 feet.
Should be fine.
Right? Come on, camera. Figure it out.
I think just newness of trying to be a dragon and carry a person, she's gonna accidentally drop you. Sorry.
Okay.
So fickle is the heart of a dragon.
It's true.
All right, so Esmita, I need you to roll keep your cool, but I'm going to ask you to roll with disadvantage as this is kind of a surprise.
Well, and that's a 4.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Okay.
You did just drop me 2 stories.
That's true.
Yeah.
The fun thing is it would have been like a 9, but disadvantage, that's what's gonna do.
Yeah,
ya.
disadvantage is a jerk. So yeah, you clatter to the ground. You're just gonna take a faint, just one wound. That
I am now up to 3 wounds.
oh, okay,
Oh
right,
no.
okay. But that still is just in the middle one, right? Sirius or whatever that is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's fine. And that one, by the way, I think you have armor, but this one wound would bypass armor because you fell 25 feet. But other than that, you actually dropped into some, the kind of bushes they plant around the palm trees that don't belong in California, but we're full of palm trees anyway. I don't know if people knew that. The palm trees are sort of like an invasive species here. They're not native here. Yeah, you land in, in between some, that like spiky thing that looks like a giant, not asparagus,
Artichoke.
Broccoli?
yeah, it looks like a giant artichoke. I don't know what that plant is called, but it's this, like spiky kind of vertical bush. You land right next to that, so you're not all spiked, but you get bumped and bruised, and you're already injured from earlier, and you're just like, oh, that sucked. Sarah,
This is what I get for trusting amateurs.
Yep. Sarah, you will have
You
to
can-
live
yeah.
with the shame that you literally let down your mentor.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the first time.
And then now, Sarah, your roll was an 8, right? That was what got us to a cost.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Sarah. My brain malfunctioned for a
I
second.
thought you were looking up your dice log or something.
I was looking at my brain for something. I didn't find it. It was an 8, yes.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you otherwise managed to fly down quietly and find a spot kind of next to where Asmita plopped down, and are, getting a view of what's going on the ground floor. Ryan, you wanted to run down the stairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As quietly as possible, but yeah.
Quickly and quietly?
Quickly and quietly.
Okay, let's keep your cool.
All right. Oh, that die went out of the dice tray. All right, so that's a 6 on the die, but spirit is +2, so that's an 8.
Okay. So, as you're running down the stairs, the problem you're running into is that you were going quietly enough, but unrelated as you are, running down the stairwell. You didn't pick up that someone else is coming up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're in a situation where you're going to run into this person, right? Like, you don't realize it soon enough.
Sure.
So the question is, do you run into them and turn it into an attack? Do you go, oh no? Are you like trying to get out of it? Put on a show? Are you like, the question is, how do you handle this impact, quote unquote? Because
Sure.
you can't get out of them seeing you, but it's only them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're sort of hidden, but you're gonna have to deal with it somehow.
Yeah. Let's. Yeah, I'm gonna do the show. I'm gonna like run into them, and like, oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get away. There's gunfire, and I'm not supposed to be here. How did they get here? Why am I in this handbasket? So that's my MO on that, is trying to, again, I want to touch them so I might be able to take their appearance later. Add them to my book of faces.
Okay, so
But-
there's a little bit of a trick there. One, this person is all in black biker leathers and a full, like, shiny black biker helmet.
Sure.
Sort of like Daft Punk level of, outfit. And I don't know, like, do you need to touch their skin for that to work?
It just says appear to others as someone you have previously touched.
Okay, so I think you can appear as somebody in black biker leathers with a helmet.
Okay, that's fine.
But you don't know what this person looks like. And so, well, I will say her body is decidedly feminine, right? But like tall and broad and strong, kind of like if Xena were all in leathers, we would still know that she's a femme figure, right? But that's kind of who you're running into. But you run into this person and you're like, oh no. And she like just one hand on your chest slams you against the wall so hard, right?
Ooh.
And has like a small, submachine gun type of thing. An MP5 if anyone cares about firearms, but she like slams you against the wall, hand on your chest, gun pointed at you, like you can hear her start to say, "Who are?" And then she says, "What are you?"
Oh, well, you set me up for it, so now I am gonna use one of my powers now. I am going to mark corruption, so if I fill up my corruption track,
Yay!
and I'll
You
figure out what I'm
win.
gonna take on that. But I'm gonna use Bedlam. You can touch a target to place them in a specific emotional state, your choice. Mark corruption to have that emotion directed toward a target of your choosing. But I'm basically, so she says, "What are you?" And I basically grab her arm where she's got me and say, "Your worst nightmare." And I want her to be absolutely terrified of me to the point where she's going to bolt.
Okay. Let's roll.
Well, there's no roll for that. Bedlam just happens.
Okay.
I have to
believe
mark
you.
corruption to use it, which is why I think it just goes off.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm just gonna double check the wording on it.
Yeah.
Like, no, I know that it goes off, right? I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
want to. This is complicated because her being terrified of something usually means pull the trigger. Specific emotional state, terror. That's fine. I accept that she's being put in a terror emotional state. Mark corruption, yeah. But you want her to run away.
I do. I would like her to go away, read some books.
Yeah. All right. So you have successfully put this woman in terror, but I think to manipulate her actual reaction, because her fight or flight usually lands on fight.
Mm-hmm.
And so you've triggered that, but I think I'm going to have you roll persuade an NPC.
Okay.
Not that you're like having a reasoned conversation with her, but just to
refine my...
Yeah, to refine this magic to get the actual outcome that you want and not the trigger pull.
Right.
Because then if you get a 6-, we know what's happening.
Right. All right. That's a 7 on the dice, and you said it's mislead, distract, or trick?
It's persuade, so it's heart.
Oh, that's the same thing for me. So it's a +2. So 7 + 2 is a 9.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, they counter your offer or demand payment. That doesn't really make sense. But it's still a success. And so, yeah, I think we get a middle ground of she's going to run away because she was trying to go up the stairs anyway. But she like grabs your shirt and throws you down the stairs where she just came from, and she keeps running. So
Okay.
you don't get shot, but we land on this middle ground.
Okay, I'll take it.
So I think that is probably 1 harm bypassing armor. I don't know if you have any armor, but
I don't. That does put me into 1 box of serious.
okay.
We're okay. We're fine. We're fine.
Yeah. And I should say, like, a regular human would have taken more harm. Like, she threw you really hard. So that you didn't, like, fall down the stairs. You flew across the space, hit the wall and slid down to the next landing, right? That
Yeah.
just to be clear, what happened there.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
And then she went sprinting up the stairs. So the breath's knocked out of you. You're going to take a second to recover. No, Dorklo Canada, the antlers were not harmed.
Does bring me to a question though, because she said, "Who are you? No, what are you?"
Yes.
As far as I know, regular humans, if they look at me, they don't see the antlers.
They certainly would not.
Okay, so these are clearly someone involved in the. Okay, perfect. That's all I wanted to confirm.
Yep. Even like Helsings probably wouldn't notice your antlers unless they were employing some sort of special device or something, right?
Right.
Because they are normal. They're by statute are normal humans, right? They that's a Helsing thing. So worth noting.
Perfect.
Okay. Now, Sarah, are you in telepathic contact with everyone right now, or just Asmita, or like what was your state?
I think I'm gonna go. Let's see, what did I have to spend to reestablish the link with everyone? Because I dropped it when we were talking to
Yeah, it's
Elizabeth.
you have to have a hold, and I think you have one
I
hold
do?
left because you held 3 and then spent 2 to link everyone in, so you probably have 1 left, which will allow you to link to 2 other people, but not everyone, unless you
Okay.
want to re-roll your hold.
No, I think since we were kind of all team reconnaissance, I'll spend that hold to link to Ryan and Asmita.
Okay. So then, yeah, you and Asmita both get the jolt of, Ryan's. Is there a fear response there, Ryan, or were you all business? I don't want to describe.
I was all business. Like, I've got this under control. And then I think it was more embarrassment again.
Okay, embarrassment and pain, but not afraid for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
Okay.
you two get a little spike of that, like, oh, something just happened. But it's not like you are looking through Ryan's eyes or something, right? It just you get that jolt of information.
Gotcha. If it's not fear, like feeling endangered, I'm not gonna bring it up because he seems embarrassed.
Yeah. Okay. I want to check back to Asmita. What are you doing?
So I landed not in the plant. Yay.
Yep.
But where am I in relation to kind of where the action is?
So you're just outside the ground level of the parking garage, and there's like a chest-high concrete wall, so you can like look into the bottom level of the parking garage. It's just open too. There's no glass or anything, right? We all know what a parking garage looks like. And you're also right next to the entrance driveway, right? So people would drive in, and then the rest of the parking garage is away from you, right? So you're right next to the entrance. They would come in and turn left to park down here, or go a little further up and left to go up to the upper level. So that's the kind of shape of things. On that ground floor, using the concrete wall as cover, are 4 people in biker leathers. Not all of them are the perfect matched, like all black leather, black helmet that the person Ryan met was wearing. Some of them are actually they're all they are they're not like patch mismatch gear, right? It's just everyone kind of has their own style and they're not uniforms. So there's like a red one and one that's a little bit more let's have somebody in like jeans and a vest but still the full helmet, so that we get like the cowboy one. And
So it's a cross
So-
between Power Rangers and the YMCA.
So he's a little bit
Or the Village
country,
People.
and the one I ran into was more rock and roll.
yeah exactly.
Power
And you could
Rangers,
see
like,
motorcycles parked inside the parking garage. They're all the like real fast type motorcycles, not like the big Harley honking deals, but more the like street racer type. So worth noting as well. So, oh, and by the way, you see 4 people down here and 5 motorcycles.
Oh. And maybe just ask. It's like, oh, you ran into one of them, I'm assuming then.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Yeah, it's fine. She's not gonna be a problem. I think I broke a rib. I'm okay. I'm
Cracked.
fine.
Read through it, you'll be fine.
So dramatic. One cracked rib.
Like, I am going to see if I can...
Janet, no bark. Sorry. Hey. Well, I think she's gonna bark.
Barker's gonna bark.
Yep.
Cool. So I'm going to...
So
I'll have
you
to study these people and see if there's anything I can, like, glean from them. Especially, like, are there any tattoos or anything on vest person? Or, like, you know, are there patches that might tell me what group they're with? They're all, like, very much interested in covering their faces with these helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense if you don't want people to be able to track you down later, I suppose. But
Right.
also, is there another reason?
Now, Janet distracted me. So you had noted to Ryan, like, oh, that someone just ran past you, and you have telepathic connection. So Ryan, what was your reaction to that?
Yep, she's not
just
gonna be a
confirming
problem.
that. Yeah, okay.
Cracked rib. I'm
Okay.
fine. Mildly dying.
Okay. That just sounds like something Ryan would say because he's in a long line at Starbucks. So,
Yeah, I mean, whatever. You breathe through it. Good job.
okay. So yeah, let's, do you want to, okay, there's 2 ways we could do this. One is study a place of power, sort of, right? Like this isn't literally someone's place of power, but it would tell you something. Or we could try figure someone out, but there would be some restrictions on what I'm going to answer with that, since you're not actually having a conversation with them.
I think, I mean, would put a name to a face make sense here? Like, I know it's another circle move, but...
Not really, because you know nothing about them. Like, you don't know what circle they're in. You just know nothing about them.
Okay.
Would it work if somehow we were able to see one of their faces?
If you could see a face and have a conversation, you might get information, but it's also possible you could see their face and realize, I definitely don't know anything about you. I've never heard of you and I've never seen you before. That is a possible result of being able to see their face.
Fair.
Okay. I think figure someone out makes more sense than study a place of power, even though it's not a conversation. I mean, body language and details about a person or whatever, that all seems to make sense for figure someone out.
Okay. Great.
As much as I hate doing this, because...
What's your mind stat?
-1.
I respect it. I respect rolling the minus.
My dice are
As-
were like, we're just gonna make you sweat for it a little bit. I rolled an 8. -1 is a 7.
Oh, right. Yeah, that is a sweaty number. 7 is the sweatiest number. Okay.
7 is the sweatiest. No, it doesn't.
Exactly. So you get to ask 2, but you're going to reveal something about yourself to them, so they're going to see you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that they wouldn't have noticed me crashing through the...
Yeah, this is all happening
the
at bullet
sky.
time, and they have helmets on, and there's gunfire, but now they're like, what? And just to be clear, they're looking out at the street, so they would have to look left to see you, right? Does everyone have a good picture of like what we're looking at here?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I have to swap the side in my brain. That's gonna be...
Oh no.
Okay, I can do this. It'll be okay. Sorry. For whatever reason, when I pictured it...
You were on the other side of them?
Yeah, it was just everything, but then it was the right-hand side of the building rather than the left-hand
Oh, right.
side. Wow, it's funny how brains work.
It is. It really is funny. I miss the, playing in person where I could draw a bad map real quick that for some reason always looks like dicks. I don't know why my maps all turn into genitalia, but they do. The one time they didn't, it literally looked like a uterus. Like
You don't know. You have no idea. Really, Jason?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way to know, really.
And the
mystery.
world may never know.
All right. So figure someone out. On a hit, you ask 2, but I'm going to ask 1 back. What 2 do you want to ask?
Okay. Who is pulling your character's strings?
I'm not sure how much of that we could get. I think what I'm going to do is give you a certain negative answer, right? Like you are sure that nobody is pulling their strings, as in you don't see any symbols, signs, affiliative, markings. It really seems like this is an independent group of some kind. Or if there is something about them, you don't recognize it. So it seems like they're independent.
What's your character's beef with the vampires?
Yeah, I think that some of the pieces start to fit together. That I am sure Celeste told some parts of her story about what happened over there, and you're piecing together that these are the people who kicked some vampires out of a small building, and then vampires tried to retaliate, and they got ripped apart, and it seems like these folks are trying to carve out space for themselves, and then were retaliated on. So it's probably that, and that would actually also add up for why vampires brought werewolves with them. Is they knew they were up against some sort of opponent that's been difficult for them. So yeah.
So this feels a little bit like a night turf war.
Kind of, yeah. But it's not clear that these folks are from the Night Circle, so that's the part that's weird. Because if they are, we don't know what they are. What is the other Night playbook? I have to know.
I don't know if there is. I was looking at it and I only saw.
It'll be the one with
it would
starting
be the
status.
Spectre.
Oh,
the
the
ghost.
Spectre, I bet.
Yeah. And in the new quick start, that's what it is, I believe.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, almost certainly. Okay, we'll go with the Spectre.
Yeah, it is. It's the Spectre is the other Night playbook.
Okay, and these guys are definitely not acting like Spectres. So, everyone knows there's never been a human Spectre. So, no, just for me. Am I the only Mass Effect player here?
No, but I didn't get the joke because it's been too long. And I've also only had 1 coffee today.
Okay.
Oh, how are you awake?
I don't know. That's
Just
wild.
barely.
What you just said is wild.
Yeah.
Right, I'm on my 3rd and I'm still not fully functional.
Okay. So I'm going to ask 1 back as they turn to look at you. What's your character hoping to get from them? Like what? Like what? Like the cowboy has turned and is like, what? Are you just looky-loo? Are you attacking? Like that's kind of what he's trying to figure out.
I was hoping to get information from them.
Okay. You just have it like your hand up like Hermione.
Just question mark bump
Yeah.
in a bubble.
Yeah, basically. It's like,
I have a quest for you.
That's very interesting.
Okay.
Like, this was not what I expected here. But yeah, because I was hoping to get information. I wanted to know if this was personal, if it had to do with us. If when we come down from the top level of this parking garage, are you going to murder us? Or attempt to murder us anyway? Like, info.
Okay. And is that genuinely, like, that's your real motivation, is just asking questions?
Yeah, I was more interested in, like, who they are and why they're doing this. I don't want to get into other people's feuds for no reason.
Yeah, okay.
But I do want to know if they're going to start shit with us and with me.
Okay. So there's a moment where this guy looks at you and he has his gun over the edge and he just turns it and gives you one of these, like, right? So Sarah, you see that as well. That I think he probably doesn't even see you because his brain hasn't put together the fact that there's a dragon standing behind the woman looking into the parking garage. You know, like when you see something that you just like haven't put all the pieces together yet of like,
That's a weird texture behind her.
yeah, that's probably like a weird tree or whatever that is.
Really laugh like topiary.
Yeah. But you both see him do the, like his head is cocked a little bit in his helmet, but puts up a like, hang on 1 second. And then like clicks something on his helmet and speaks up, and his helmet like projects his voice, right? Like a little bit of a loudspeaker. It's not super loud, but it's louder. All of the people inside stop shooting, all of his people. The werewolf shoots a couple more times, our super hot one, from behind the truck, and then stops, and the guy yells, "Get your man and go." And you can see the werewolf they shot, none of them are lethal injuries. So this guy who like morphed back to human and is on the ground is like slow dragging himself, like trying to get back to the car. But really they shot him like 10 times and none of them were lethal. That has to be on purpose, right? Like
that's pretty impressive shooting.
Unless they're stormtroopers.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Would any of them have hit at that point though?
No.
Good point. Also.
Right. Yeah, they would just miss, right?
Yeah.
So they hit this guy like 10 times and didn't hit the heart or head. So he's just in a lot of pain. Because there's several chunks of silver in his body, and that sucks. Actually, they probably all pass through. Yeah. So he's just hurting real bad. And the guy, the Joe Manganiello werewolf, is like, "Is this a trick?" And, and then like comes to the reasonable conclusion of like, well, they could have killed the guy on the ground, right? And swarmed him, and like, he is at a huge distance. Like, there's no way he could win, right? So, given the opportunity for reprieve, he goes around. Magically, his SUV is all shot up, but none of the tires got shot out. Wild coincidence. But he goes around, has a gun trained on the thing, and like one arms this guy up, gets him into the truck, and goes around, and they leave, and that's it. They, unless any of you, Asmita or Sarah want to do anything about that.
No, I've got his fur. I can hex him from afar if I want to later.
That's true. Now, Ryan, you come down the stairwell, I think, right? You were going to keep going. And you open up the door right onto the, like, where you would drive in, the entrance, and like 4 people taking cover behind a wall, and they all turn around as you like bang the door open. And Asmita, you see everybody turn to point guns at Ryan. It's
just mentally, it's like, oh, just had to make an entrance, huh?
And before we get to that, I want to cut back to the roof. Belle,
Mm-hmm.
you jump as there's a tap on the window.
Oh.
And this woman in black leathers is tapping the barrel of her gun. She's not pointing it at you, right? But she taps the barrel of her gun on the back window of the limo. The driver has not noticed that there's a person there.
Mm-hmm. I guess I roll down the window like real thin.
Mm-hmm.
Like not enough for her to stick the barrel in. I'm like, what?
Werewolf or vampire?
Who wants to know?
She like kind of peers in. You can see her better than she could see you, right? Because
Yeah.
it's like darkened windows.
Yeah. And I'm not like leaning real close, just sort of, yeah.
She like flips the visor up, and we can see that this person, if not played by Lady Gaga, is played by a Lady Gaga lookalike actress.
Okay.
And says, "You could call me Pancakes. Now, what are you?"
Pancakes!
Oh, pancakes!
What is pancake supposed to mean to me?
Look, I need to know if you're a vampire or a werewolf. 'Cause you don't
No, you
smell
don't.
like either.
No, you don't. I don't know. No. Jog on. I'm just going to roll the window back up. I
Okay.
had about enough of you.
We are out of time for today, and that is a perfect spot to game down. I thought we were going to get to our city moves, but we'll have to do that next time. But that's our story so far. Let's go around and tell the folks where they can find you and your beautiful work. We'll go in reverse direction this time. We'll go Jay, then Sam, and Pooja, and then Joey. So Jay.
Hi, y'all. Jay Holtham here. You can find me on the socials at Jay Holtham and all the places where we are social online. You can find me playing games with 12-sided stories and at Happy Jacks.
Hello, I'm Sam. You can find me on the internet at Red Pandroid. You can also find me playing games on Happy Jacks and here. And if you would like to see my weird artwork t-shirts inspired by mythology and some other bullshit, you can go to stiarnastore.com. I'll put it in the Twitch chat for anybody that wants to check it out.
Hi, I'm Pooja. You can find me on Twitter.
Are you?
No, I was like, I have to keep going through the order in my mind. I was like, I don't know if it's my turn. I may or may not be Pooja, but you can definitely find me on Twitter at LADesigirl. That's LADESI girl. And pretty much everywhere else is Forgotten Saves. If you want to hear me play some more TTRPGs, check out the 12-Sided Stories podcast. We are currently just wrapped up our second season of Unquiet Blood, really fun vampire 5e actual play set in the 70s, and we are about to start a whole new Otherworld series, which is a Call of Cthulhu horror.
Otherworld's coming back. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Very
so
cool.
That'll be real fun.
All right.
So you can catch Jay and I in that one. And we are also, Joey and I are about to start back with our Vampire 5e game with Happy Jacks RPG.
Awesome.
Oh, it's my turn. Hi, I'm Joey, and you can find me on Twitter right now as Feywild85. We're doing a revamp, trying to get everything to be the same across all social media platforms, so we'll get that done hopefully soon. But right now, Twitter is Feywild85, and like Pooja said, hopefully coming back with our Glittering Night Vampire 5e game with Happy Jacks RPG. You always catch me here every Saturday morning, and hopefully some more stuff coming soon, so keep your eye on the socials.
All right. I will update your screen tag as well.
I finally Googled how to do it.
Oh, how to change your Twitter?
How to change? I thought I was stuck. I'm like, it's not the worst thing to have my name as my handle, but like that's so boring. Let's change it
you,
up a little.
you want a brand. I
Yeah.
get it. It's wild with an E, right?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
as in like Feywild, as in like the D&D 5e Feywild, but wild as in Oscar Wilde. So
And 85 at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Same as your Twitch.
yes,
Got it.
exactly the same.
Got it. And my name's Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. I stream here 4 days a week, Wednesdays and Friday, Saturday, Sunday. A number of different things. You can look at the schedule below to see what I'm getting up to. Also, I'm streaming on Happy Jacks every other Monday in that Yuma Station game. Having a great time with that group of people. Well, everyone except one of them. But, you know, it's a, it's a good time. And that is and if you want to check out the game that I'm working on, you could go to demigodspbta.com. I just noticed yesterday that the art, like I borked the site somehow, but if you go to the quick start link, you can still download the game, and I will work on fixing my website. But I think that's pretty much it for us. So we'll be back next time with more Urban Shadows and our city moves and getting a feel for what the heck is going on with Pancakes and Crew. So take care, everyone, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.